So, I explain for this morning, because this is called special block morning and afternoon, okay? Special blocking means 2 tough workouts in the same day. After, you need to recover. This morning we have 10 kilometers. The first 10 kilometers are about between 31:30 and 32 minutes. So 90% practically of the speed for everybody. We stop 5 minutes, and after we have for everybody 8 kilometers going a little bit down. Okay? Only Eric has a 12. Come. Afternoon, we have 10 kilometers like the first of this morning, between 31:30 and 32, going to the track. After in the track, we have, depend who is yet alive, no, we have for Eric stand time 1200 in 324. Same pace of Eric, we have a group for 1K, a group for 800 meters, so we are all together with more recovery. So is a day more than 40, almost 50 kilometers if we consider the warm-up, okay? So no competition. 10K now, between 31:30 and 32 together. I don't want to see somebody escaping, not this one, okay?
Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to another video of the Limerick Running Tokyo Marathon video log, and today is going to be one of those haymaker sessions, I guess, one of the big ones. I haven't done any kind of real hard sessions since I started, but today is definitely going to be the hardest one I do, and it'll probably make my other sessions feel a bit easier, which is why I like to do it. And it's kind of, I'm calling it a special block, but if you want to see a real special block, go back over the video I did last year when I was in Poland on holidays, and I ended up doing around 20 miles at marathon effort or close to it, and it was probably the hardest session I ever did, but when I got through it and I hit my splits, it gave me a lot of confidence, and obviously it gave me a lot of benefits as well, and it's something that I like to do. But obviously I'm in a different situation now. I've got kind of injuries that I have to worry about. I don't want to overdo it, so I'm calling this a special block light, because it's not going to be as intense as that special block I did last year, and I'm not going to go into the second session with carb depletion, which is what I did last year. If you look over that video, you'll see my famous soup, 100 calories, and I had a bowl of porridge in the morning, and that soup for the whole, we'll say, day until I finished, obviously, and I ate loads of cake. But I'll put the link in the comments, and if you want to see that special block from last year, it's a good video to watch. It'll go through everything. So the special block today, the special block light, it's going to be around 90% of race pace. So if I'm using 5:35 as my PB pace, I'm gonna run around between 6:05, 6:15, something around there. And it should kind of correlate to around aerobic threshold. So if I can get through that session, the first one, usually if I'm going to do a special block or a canova special block, you'll really do probably 2 sessions in the morning and 2 in the evening. But like I said, I'm trying to mind myself now. My fitness is still not up to where I want it to be. That'll come in time, and this session will kind of help anyway, because it's not like the session itself is hard when you put it all together all day, but in terms of my zones, a lot of the work I'm going to be doing is going to be at aerobic threshold, and then later on tonight I'll have the faster than marathon pace stuff. So we're talking about maybe 105% of race pace, and maybe 102. Canova usually kind of goes 102 to 105. So for marathoners, traditionally they would probably do 10k at 90% of race pace, and then a short little break, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and they'll go in and they'll do maybe 10k at race pace, and they'll carry that into the second session. Then they won't eat too many carbohydrates, and they're going into the second session feeling like they're at the end of a marathon, which is one way of replicating it. You know, we can't go out and replicate the last couple of miles of a marathon unless you actually run one. And doing this special block, for me, it allows me to replicate the last couple of miles of the race when the race begins, really. And if I can get through these sessions over the next couple of weeks, that's going to give me the strength that I need. When the gremlins start jumping on your shoulder and say, I can't go on and I need to stop, you know you have the work done, and you can fight them off and you just keep going. And it worked for me last year when I did 2:26 in Chicago. So the one I'm doing this time is because it's kind of like an adaptation of my training so far. I've did a lot of aerobic threshold work, I've did a bit of marathon pace work, and a bit of lactic threshold work. So I'm going to kind of put them all together now today and make one big session. So the first session I did was 7 miles at 90% of race pace. So I came in at 140 beats per minute, which was good. So that's around my aerobic threshold from my VO2 max test. Average pace 6:10, and it was a very windy day. It was a bad day for running, so I wasn't looking forward to getting out. If I was somewhere warm, if I was in Poland, I would probably do a double session in the morning and a double in the evening. You know, like I would do 10k and then I do that 2-minute break, like a proper special block. But if the weather was just so bad today and windy, I didn't want to do it, and I ended up doing 7.3 miles, so 45 minutes. And when I go into this second session later, I'll probably do something similar, maybe 45 minutes around aerobic threshold, around 90% of race pace, and it might come in similar. My heart rate might be a little bit higher because I'm going in a little bit tired. I haven't taken on a whole pile of carbohydrates, just to kind of have a small bit of fatigue in it. And then the second part of the PM session is going to be, like I said, 102, 105% of race pace, and it's going to be very tough. But that's going to replicate the latter stages of the marathon. And like I said, I'm not going red. I shouldn't go red in this session at all. If I'm going red, I'll just pull it, because that's not what I want. I want to work my lactate zone today, and around 105% race pace, I should be hitting that sweet spot. And the last couple of weeks when I've been doing my marathon pace stuff, my heart rate's been pretty low. It's been good. It's been like 155, maybe a little bit lower for some of the sessions. And that's good. That's given me a lot of confidence so far. And this session today is going to make all these other sessions feel a lot easier, you know. And obviously the strength I'm going to get from doing the aerobic work and then doing the lactate work, it's going to make my marathon pace workouts down the line feel a lot easier, because I'm doing the top end and the bottom end of my my lactate zone, if you will. And you'd want your marathon pace to be somewhere in the middle or a little bit lower of that zone. And all these sessions today are definitely going to help to push that bar and make it more comfortable. You know, when I start doing my marathon pace stuff in the next couple of weeks, this is kind of like a transition from the aerobic stuff into kind of more specific stuff. And I think that the sessions will definitely feel a lot easier, and they should, because that's the whole point of doing these. I'm building up my strength to be able to sustain marathon pace, and today will tell a lot, and it'll give me some good data, and it will also test out my hips and see that they're firing, because I want to start getting in and do my long marathon pace runs and maybe longer sessions, just to get a bit more specific now with my training. And I think that today is going to tell a lot. I have 2 lads coming down with me. Enda's going to be there. He's coming down from Dublin to join in with this session with me, and Niall is going to take out the faster stuff. So I'm going to have a good pacer in front of me. All I got to do is hang on. And like I said, if I glance down at my watch and I think my heart rate is genuine and I think it's too high, I'll just I'll either slow down or else I'll nip the session in the bud, because That's not what I want to do. Last year when I did this session, my heart rate was around 165 for the second part of it, but that's because I didn't have any carbohydrates. I had no fuel, and I was basically at mile 25 in the marathon, if you will, that kind of feeling, and I got through it anyway. But today it should be a little bit different, hopefully, and we'll get cracking there in a while. I have a couple of hours to spare, so I'm just going to chill out, try rest up and try hydrate myself, and get through this, and it'll give me a lot of confidence, and then we'll see. I'm going to weigh myself then, because I've been pretty good the last couple of days now, last week even, with regards to my diet. We had a Christmas party yesterday in work. I went in, I had 1 or 2 0-0s, and I had a lovely 3-course meal. So I'm around 70, I'd say 70 now. I definitely got it down a bit, 70. So I reckon if I do this session today, I should get good data on the weighing scale. We'll give it a go. I have till the 24th. That's where I get my target. And you know, if I feel strong today, it means everything is fine anyway, and I won't worry too much about it. But it'd be nice to get it. Woo! Friday night lights. It is pretty miserable, as you would expect, and pretty cold. Just waiting for Enda, and we're gonna get the first part of the session done. The easy part, I suppose. Time will tell. It is pretty cold, and I can't wait to get it going. So hopefully we'll get about at least 30 miles done in this session, and that will be 20 for the day, and I'll be pretty happy with that. A little bit of a warm up, and maybe 1 or 2 miles in between the two parts of it, I suppose, because Niall's going to come along, and he's going to take out the fast stuff. So while we're waiting for him to get ready, we'll do the other stuff, I suppose, the aerobic stuff, and maybe 1 or 2 miles warm up, and then we go straight into it and let the pain begin. And I am pretty cold. Kipchoge, Tokyo, I'm coming for you, boy. The last time I met Kipchoge, he had 6 heavy bouncers around him, 6-footers. I'd say they were about 20 stone each, all of them, and they didn't have my speed though. I got in and got the old video, so I was in and out before they could grab me. This time I'll be lining up next to him, hopefully in Tokyo, as a semi-elite athlete. They might put me up at the front with the big boys. When I say big boys now, they're all small little Japanese fellas, so you'll see me in the back anyway at some stage, hopefully, at the start, and hopefully I get to meet the great man himself. It's great to find out that he's actually going to do it now. It's brilliant news, like, and Hassan as well. Hassan and Kipchoge, the two heavyweights of the marathon now, I suppose, after Kelvin Kiptum, and I'll be lining up next to them again, and I can't wait, and that's why it's raining now. I don't care. It's all for this race, and I'm super excited and I'm super motivated. So it doesn't matter what happens now, as long as I don't get injured, everything is going to be good. So better get changed. There's the Tesla user. I finally converted him to the flat. He's back for more speed. First part down, 10k, 37.45. This is where the pain starts. We're just waiting for Niall. He's gone off doing his warm up, and it's pretty windy, so we're probably going to be running we're aiming to do 5:25, but we're probably going to be running 5:10 effort into that wind, and then obviously on the way back up a bit easier. But it's going to be hard to get right, but it is what it is. These are the conditions we're dealt, and we're going to deal with them. We're going to deal with them for 1 mile anyway. We'll see. Play it by ear. The heart rate there was nice and stable, a little bit past 140 for a couple of laps. There's our rabbit here. Now we'll be getting straight into it pretty soon for 3 miles of 5:25, 1 mile float, and 2 miles. Well, buddy, are you warmed up? Are you warmed up?
10 miles done, have you?
We just did 10k and then 1 mile warm up, so we did 7.2 miles done. This is then
Very done, mate. You good?
Alright, so what is the plan? That breeze pretty strong going down that back straight, so I'd say we'll have to definitely get our pacing right.
Yeah, I'll keep it aerobic anyway.
Yeah.
Keep it
5:25s, yeah, for the first 3, you reckon? Around. We'll see, it'll be, until now it's very strong going down that way. The heart rate was spiking up, so we'll play it by ear, says you.
Yeah.
And you're going to lead it out anyway. I'll try to take one if I can. I'll try to take one. I better get going. Are you ready? Are you ready, are you?
I'm ready, come on.
Ready, oh fuck. How'd you find that, buddy?
Tough.
That was tough. A good session.
Tough. Yeah, it's a good session.
Good session.
It'd be a hard one to do on your own.
Yeah, definitely. That wind. But it's a fair course, that's the only good thing about it.
Yeah.
And we'll have to mix it up, I suppose. We might hit the hills there someday.
Yeah.
Morris Mullins.
We'll get you back to Morris Mullins.
Any tips for any new Morris Mullins runners?
Well, it's fast.
Yeah, it's a fast course, yeah.
It's fast. Like it's very runnable. So, like if you're not too bad on the road.
Yeah, it definitely helps you doing sessions on the road for the Morris Mullins,
okay,
like yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, especially, and I suppose the shoes, like if you're wearing X-Talons or something in Morris Mullins, there's a lot of fire road. It definitely take it out of your feet.
Yeah, like there's not a whole lot that's, you know, hard to run on. Like there's no boggy bits at all. Like, you know, so if you have a good fast
bit of turnover, a bit of speed, yeah.
You'd be doing okay. There's only 1 or 2 big climbs really. Like the one climb up Joust on the way back, really.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible.
That's kind of one of the biggest ones. So.
When I went up that last year, I was like, it's like if I was carrying the cross. I was getting crucified. Anyway, that was a solid session, 20 miles for the day. The session there, we averaged 5:45 altogether for the, I suppose, the aerobic threshold stuff and the faster stuff. We were hitting probably around 5:25 a mile, but it was solid. Maybe 5:25? 5:25?
The second session there was in K's, it was 3:27.
Yeah, it's pretty fast, yeah.
For the 7 miles.
That was good. That was solid. I'm going home now to weigh myself. I'm looking forward to getting that square Toblerone run. Anyway, we'll review the data when we go back. A square of Toblerone. It's subjective, but you know what that means. Oh yeah, baby. Objective number 1. 69 kilograms. Happy, feeling good. And it's not just an arbitrary figure. I actually feel good when I'm 69 kilograms because I was 69 kilograms last year. I feel good. This is where I want to be at. Objective number 1 in the bag, you know, set small goals and try reach them. And the next one is 100 miles, which I hope to do on my week off, which is starting tomorrow, because I just did a recovery run there from that brilliant session yesterday. Yes. Top class. Met Enda, met Niall, and I did the second part of that special block, I suppose. And I was looking back over my data from last year, from the session, and I'm looking at it now, and my heart rate was like sky high. You know, last year I was basing my heart rate for the special block at 165, and looking back now, I should have been arrested for grievous bodily harm, because that was a tough session, you know. Yesterday, like I said, I didn't really deplete my carbohydrate stores. I just went and did it like a normal kind of double session, but obviously with a bit more fatigue. And I actually felt unbelievable. I felt so smooth for this session yesterday, and I couldn't have been happier with how it went, you know. And to be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect going into it. I did a tempo on Tuesday. I didn't feel good because I had the food before it, and I I thought, you know, that was my kind of catalyst to say, alright, I'm just going to do this, I'm going to get to 69, and I got there. So felt unbelievable. So went out. In fairness to the lads, Enda and Niall, they took up the running. I just set in, switched off, and I was just kind of going by effort. But I knew beforehand that Niall was going to set a nice pace anyway, and it turned out that him and Enda were kind of just more or less side by side, and I tucked in behind the two of them, and it made my life a whole lot easier, and we were hitting some fast splits. So in terms of the session then, so I met Enda, we did a mile warm up, a mile and a bit, and then we kind of started doing aerobic threshold, I guess around 90% of race pace. So I came in this time at around 6:05 we averaged for the 10k, and we took about maybe 4 or 5 minutes just to change out of the kind of clothes we were in, because it was pretty cold when we started. We were wearing long pants and stuff and jackets, so we took them off. We seen Niall, and we knew it was going to get hot at that stage, and I thought it was going to be 5 mile with a 1 mile float and then 2 mile, but Niall wanted to do 2 by 3 miles with a 6 minute mile float, so that's how it transpired. And we ended up doing, I think, around 5:30, 5:20, 5:20 for the first 3, and then the same next one was 5:30 and 5:25, 5:25, and I felt great. I felt really smooth. My heart rate was really good. Like I think my max heart rate was 150, 156, but you know, that was going into the breeze, probably running 5:20 a mile, and I definitely have a bit in reserve. So I suppose going forward I might try to run a little bit faster to get my heart rate up to the 160. But those sessions there yesterday, I suppose the paces were kind of like Daniel's paces, which is marathon pace minus 10 seconds. But at that point in the session, you know, at the end of it, that was like mile 20 and 21 for me for the mileage that I did during the day. If I had to change anything in the session to do a real special block, I would have did something similar, maybe marathon pace in the morning. But like I said, when I came out in the morning, the weather was pretty bad and it was windy, and it's great to have the lads there as well, because if any of those said they weren't going, I would never got that session done. And I wouldn't have come away with the confidence that I have now and been happy out with the session. Like, I came home, I weighed myself, got down to 69, had a brilliant session, and honestly I could have did a few more reps. You know, when I say a few more, I could have kept going at that pace, and I felt comfortable. That was brilliant for me, like, because we went through the halfway point, let's say, of the session in 1:15:30, like, which is, you know, close to the 2:30 pace. And felt solid now, definitely feel good. Like I said, when I get my weight down around 69, 70, I just feel really strong, and it's where I'm gonna keep it at now for the next couple of weeks. You've got 10 weeks to go to Tokyo, and that was another solid session, and pretty good. Like I said, it's been a good week. Tempo 5:25. Couldn't get going because I had too much food before it, and I came out in and blasted away 2 of them at the same pace, you know, after doing a kind of a special block. Like, if you have to adapt this kind of session to your own session, especially, like, I wouldn't do it if I was new to running, but if you're a seasoned marathoner and you're trying to, I suppose, change things up, I would definitely recommend doing a session like that. So you'd probably run around 90% in the first part, 5 miles at 90% of marathon pace, and then maybe take 2 minutes kind of recovery. It doesn't have to be a run, just recovery, and then go again and do 5 miles. This is what I did the last time, 5 miles at marathon pace. But I'd say use your kind of zones. If you know what you're at now, what shape you're in, try to have an idea, like, because you might not have the strength to run your marathon pace now, and then you're going out to do a big session like that. It could take a lot out of you. So you're kind of doing it at the relative paces that you're doing now. Because this session for me, it didn't feel that hard, because if you looked at my training the last couple of weeks, I've been doing a lot of lactate threshold stuff and a lot of stuff at 5:25. I had a 10-mile race and I did it on a hilly course in 5:25. And the aerobic threshold stuff I did 20 miles 2 weeks ago on the hills at 6:14 pace, you know, on rolling hills. So I had the strength to do this session already, you know, and that's why it's not going to take too much out of me. And I was due to have a down week, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have an overload week, and my down week is going to be after this. So that's my next target, 100 miles. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I'm off. I'm going to have no more chance to do high mileage, and if I do that, it kind of brings all my other weeks up. It brings the average miles up, so my global volume will be a lot better. So that's my next target, and hopefully I can tick the box off that next week, and then we'll set new targets. You know, we got 10 weeks to Tokyo, so if the marathon is here, my main session here 3 weeks out. So my 3 week session, and then we're just dropping down. So really, after I take my down week, after this 100-mile week, I'm going to build back up to this session, which is going to be my 16 miles at marathon pace. This is what I usually did. I didn't do it for Boston last year, and I ran 2:27 because I had the Marathon Mullins 3 weeks before it. So it's debatable, but I like doing 16 miles at marathon pace, especially if I'm going into it and I'm feeling strong, because I'd have a lot of marathon pace work done. So that's the plan, and I'm going to stick to what works for me, and we'll see where we're at. So all I can say is, look, happy Christmas, enjoy your training, enjoy the food, eat everything if you want, but make sure you have a plan in place for when all those sweets are gone. And you know, like, set yourself little targets that you can achieve, like me, because they're the ones that kind of keep you giving an extra bit of percentage out of your day. You know, it's very easy for me to not focus on the diet and just totally focus on running. But for me, if you're thinking about running all the time, it's very hard to stay switched on all the time. So what I like to do is I set myself these targets. Like this one was 69 kilograms. I wanted to see that on the scale, and I could forget about running. I could kind of focus on other things like food and my diet and stuff like that. And it doesn't make the training blocks seem as long, because I remember last year when I was doing Chicago and it was like 16 weeks or something, and I just thought when I finished it was too long. And this one for Tokyo is going to be 12 and a bit, and for me I think that's ideal. It's perfect, because you're going to put a lot of miles into these training blocks, and they're going to get very hard. And after a while you just think, oh, I just want to get this race over with, like, you know. Because I'm doing this big mileage week next week, I probably won't do anything too crazy, and I might try to get out and do that lactate threshold test on my watch, like I said I was going to do, just to see how big of a difference is on the results. Probably not going to do anything too crazy in terms of sessions. I'm probably going to do a lot of hills, because I can pass away time up there, and you know, I'm going to get the benefit of the hills as well, work on my strength. And I like doing the hills anyway, as you know, makes the flat feel way easier, and helps me pace a lot better. So when I did the Garmin lactate threshold test, you know, a couple of months ago, it was what was it, 5:37 and 1:63. So we're gonna see what the difference is now. Like I said, I reckon it's somewhere closer to the 5:20 now, and the 1:63, I'm not sure. Like, I'm doing lactate threshold stuff now where I'm running hard, like 5:15 and 5:20, and my heart rate is not even going up near the 1:60. So it'll be interesting to see what the results are, and maybe I go back and do a VO2 max test as well. But that's been another solid week, I guess. 80 miles actually for the week, forgot to say it. So I don't put everything on Strava, like if I do 3 miles on a treadmill or 3 miles on my lunch break or whatever, because I think there's enough stuff on Strava. You know, some people put their strides up, like 10 of them or whatever. Like, don't do that. You know, there's enough stuff filling Strava up. So I generally don't put my warm-ups or cool-downs or anything on it, because I think there's enough stuff on it. So 80 miles for the week, and that will give me the platform to go on and do the 100. I just did 6 recovery today and I feel great. I always like doing the recovery runs now just to kind of let my body tell me how it feels, and I felt good. So that's a good sign, especially after doing that session yesterday. You know, I just feel brilliant after it, and hopefully I can lock that in. If I don't improve from now, I'll take that. Give me that, get me to Tokyo, the start line, and hopefully I'll get up to Kipchoge for a couple of seconds and get my 6-star medal in after it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm finally going to have my square October run, and any questions let me know in the comments, and hope we enjoy the festivities. Don't forget to burn off all those calories, and I'll see you again next week. Take care.